So there was a debate last night. It was a secret debate. It was the Democratic debate. It was totally hidden from view. It was on an obscure broadcast network at a bizarre hour. It wasn't even at the hour it was billed at. They said it was at 8. It didn't start till later. They did everything they could to keep you from watching. But we here at Fox News and our crack investigative team actually located the debate last night, watched it, and we're going to bring you tape from it throughout the hour.
That's right. Donald Trump is going to be joining us in just moments here to talk about the debate. Oh, Donald Trump is joining us now. We got him on the phone. Mr. Trump, nice to have you on Fox and Friends this morning.
Well, I like to be a little bit early. We have to be sharp for you folks. Very sharp.
That's right. Yeah. Don't take an intermission and take a break, and then we can't find you at one point during the middle of this segment. So last night, you were the main focus. I don't know that any other GOP candidate got as much attention or any attention at all. Hillary Clinton on the attack about you. Take a listen.
Okay.
Mr. Trump has a great capacity to use bluster and bigotry to inflame people and to make them think there are easy answers to very complex questions. We also need to make sure that the really discriminatory messages that Trump is sending around the world don't fall on receptive ears. He is becoming ISIS's best recruiter. They are going to people showing videos of Donald Trump insulting Islam and Muslims in order to recruit more radical jihadists.
Okay, so two main points from that, Mr. Trump. One, that you are the main tool being used by ISIS now to recruit. And the other argument Hillary was making is that you winnow arguments down to simple elements so that people can understand them, glossing over major facts. Why don't you tackle both of those?
Well, first of all, can you imagine having that as president? I mean, I'm just watching, and to see that as president, it just doesn't work. And we've been going through it for years with her. Nothing but trouble. And, you know, just to bring out one thing, Bernie gave her a very, very nice pass on the emails, which he shouldn't have done. He destroyed his campaign when he did that. And then she went after him viciously on this last situation that happened yesterday. So, you know, that's just more of the same from her. The fact is that I'm able, you know, I went to Ivy League schools, I'm a good student, all of that stuff. But you want to take complex subjects and make them a little bit easier. And many times complex subjects, look at the job she did. I mean, she made everything complex, and the world fell apart because of her. By the way, hundreds of thousands of people killed because of her incompetence. I mean, it's gross incompetence. And she has done such a bad job in every way. And I am honored to be mentioned. You know, she likes to say, oh, I want to run against Trump. That's because she doesn't want against Trump. You know, if you know the art of the deal, when you want something, you say the opposite to the reporters, as an example in this case. So a couple of them said, oh, no, well, I know she does because she told me she does. They're like little babies. The fact is that, you know, I'm the only one they mention, and I'm the one that she doesn't want to run
against. But she didn't just mention you. I mean, she blamed you for ISIS recruiting. I mean, that's a very heavy thing to say. ISIS is a monstrous group.
Right, that's true. They are monsters, and we got to knock them out. But, you know, the truth is that, you know, as you know, you did a check. You did a fact check. You're a very talented reporter, did a very strong fact check and checked with the Washington Post and checked with other people, and it turned out to be a very big Pinocchio. It turned out to be a lie. It's a total lie. It's ridiculous. And, you know, she makes it up, and she makes a lot of things up. I thought your gun thing with her, you know, she's very much against the Second Amendment, which throws her out for a lot of people, I have to tell you, because we never needed it more than now. But I thought when you said tell her bodyguards, because the concept of telling her bodyguards, I'm going to tweet it out later, tell her bodyguards to get rid of their guns if she feels that way. Let's see how she feels walking around different areas.
Yeah, don't hold your breath.
I thought that was very good. Tucker, I thought that was very good, actually.
Yeah, well, you were mentioned at least 9 times last night. We don't know that any of the other GOP candidates were mentioned at all. But
they weren't.
Want to get to this now. Hillary Clinton talking about the halting, the acceptance of Syrian refugees is not something necessary for national security, and taking a jab at you on this as well. Let's listen.
I don't think a halt is necessary. What we have to do is put all of our resources through the Department of Homeland Security, through the State Department, through our intelligence agencies, and we have to have an increased vetting and screening.
So which database in Syria are we going to be working with, according to her plan, Mr. Trump?
Well, you know, when you think, how do you increase a vet, and how do you vet somebody when there are no documents, no papers, nobody knows where they came? I've watched your show many times where you have top national security people on, and they sit there and they say, and these are straight people, that there's no way of telling where these people come from. And I think she loses the election on a couple of these points, between the no guns and between knocking the Second Amendment. And she's really about the worst at it. But between that and the no vetting and the Syrian, coming in or wherever they come from, we all have hearts. And I like the concept of a safe zone in Syria. We do something. But we can't let these people come into this country. We just can't, because, it could be the great Trojan horse where they come in and all of a sudden we end up having an army of people within the country. This is what's happening. And, you've seen what they found on the line with the cell phones, with the ISIS flags on them, and worse, by the way, and much worse than that. But you can't allow these people to come in. You just can't do it. And I'll tell you what, if I win, we're sending them back.
Bernie Sanders attempted to bring the conversation back to the economy and tried to say that you were out of touch with mainstream America because you were anti-increasing of the minimum wage, et cetera. Listen to Bernie Sanders talk about the economy and you last night.
So what I say to those people who go to Donald Trump's rallies, understand, he thinks a low minimum wage in America is a good idea. He thinks low wages are a good idea. I believe we stand together to address the real issues facing this country, not allow them to divide us by race or where we come from. Let's create an America that works for all of us, not the handful on top.
So, Mr. Trump, you're a divider, not a uniter, according to Mr. Sanders. What do you say?
Well, he's just upset that my rallies are much bigger than his by a factor of many times. It's sort of interesting. I'm very much for high wages, really high wages. I want people to make a lot of money, and that's what I'm going to do, because I'm bringing jobs back. He wouldn't even know what that means, but I'm bringing jobs back from China and all these people that have stripped us of our jobs, and we're bringing them back, and we're bringing them back strong. As far as minimum wage is concerned, if we're going to remain competitive with other countries, we're going to have to do that. But I want people to go way above. I don't want anybody to make the minimum wage. I want people to go way above the minimum wage. And what I talk about is exactly that. And if you look at what's happened over the last 8 years of Obama, and honestly, I mean, it's just been for a long period of time, the middle class has actually gone down in terms of real wages. They've gone down. So he's talking about, a president that's been there for almost 8 years. It'll soon be 8 years, and the wages have gone down. So I don't know what he's talking about. Look, he knows nothing about economics. I mean, the guy's, I guess you'd call him a socialist, but some people would call him a communist if you look at what he's doing. And he's going to lose anyway. It's irrelevant to talk. I don't even think we should talk about him because he's going to lose anyway. He gave it away when he gave Hillary Clinton a pass on the email. She then went after him, which was so funny to see because I understand Hillary. But he gave it away when he gave her a pass on the email. So I don't think he's a factor anymore. No. The only thing he can hope for is that the government does their duty and she's not allowed to run, because that's what should happen, but I don't think it will happen because she's totally protected by the Democrats.
No, that is true. So Vladimir Putin of Russia praised you the other day, and you said you welcomed his compliments. Journalists got upset because he's been tough on journalists in Russia, but he's also been tough on the United States. He's pretty anti-American in his rhetoric, Putin is. Does that bother you?
No, I mean, to be honest, I think it's fine. Look, it's about time we start getting along with other countries. We're fighting everybody. We're fighting the world. We don't get along with China. We don't get along with Russia. We don't get along with anybody. We don't get along with countries that take advantage of us. I mean, China and Vietnam and all of these countries take advantage of us. We don't get along. You would think that they take so much money economically out of us. You would think at least they'd get along with us. They don't even like us, and here's what's going to happen. We're going to reverse that trend. We're going to take our jobs back. We're going to take money, and they're going to like us more than they do right now.
No, but doesn't it annoy you as an American, and you're obviously a pro-American candidate, to hear this little Russian guy attack us? I mean, just no?
Honestly, look, he's the leader of Russia. He has a great hatred of ISIS. He doesn't want ISIS going into Russia, that's for sure. You look at, I don't know whether or not the plane was bombed or not. A lot of people think, most people think, and certainly they're taking credit for bombing a Russian plane out of the air. I think it's really good if we can get along with Russia. It's really good if we can get along with other countries, knowing that we want to do well against them. We're not going to roll over. Right now, we don't do well with anybody. We don't do well. We are so poorly run as a country. We don't get, so when somebody says nice things about me, I mean, Tucker, it's hard to reject when he calls you brilliant, the great front runner. I mean, I even said to myself, wow, what's going on here? But the truth is, if we got along, I've always said that I bet you I'd get along with Putin. I would bet that I would get along with Putin. And if we can get along with him and use him to get rid of some of the truly bad people, in this case ISIS, truly bad people of the world, that's a positive, not a negative.
Mr. Trump, we saw an ad yesterday. We showed our viewers in support of Jeb Bush, governor of Florida, basically showing you praising Hillary Clinton and President Obama. And then yesterday, we have some tape we want to show our viewers of him calling you a jerk at a town hall in New Hampshire. Let's listen.
Another thing, I got to get this off my chest. Donald Trump is a jerk.
Thank you.
You cannot insult your way to the presidency. You can't disparage women, Hispanics, disabled people. Who is he kidding?
And some have said you don't have the gentleman-type qualities to be the president of the United States. How do you respond when people say things like that?
Well, you know, I built a great company. It's a tremendous company. Everybody sees that. We did filings with the federal agencies, and you look at somebody like that, he's a sad case. I mean, he's a sad case. And it's been very sad, actually, to watch him. That's a sound bite given to him by his pollster. The way he said it was just like, let's see, I'm supposed to say, he's got no gravitas. He's down to less than 3 now in the polls. And, you know, it's like he did the same. He used a similar sound bite during the debate. And sort of interesting because he took an ad or wants to take an ad where he puts his words but doesn't, you know, he cuts it off there during the debate, cuts it off. He talked about that during the debate, and I said, look, you have 3 and I have 42. You used to be next to me on the debate stage. Now you're going to be pushed off the end. He's not even, I don't even know if he's going to qualify for the next debate. The guy is a sad case. He's an embarrassment to his family as far as I'm concerned.
Donald Trump joining us live. Thanks a lot for calling in this morning. We appreciate it.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Merry Christmas, sir.
Thank you very much.